Iris, a security cabinet convened this Thursday evening. Does that mean that we're close to an end of hostilities?
I think it does mean that. Not that we've heard from Israeli politicians. All the leaks about a ceasefire coming into effect very shortly come via Al Jazeera, and there's been some gnashing of teeth from Israeli journalists about that there's no direct communication. But the fact that the cabinet is meeting, they are considering this. They're sitting right now. It's been going for more than an hour now, and they are considering what will be, when it will start, and what it will mean. Interestingly, the Egyptians who are doing the brokering of this aren't going into terms at all. They want a ceasefire first and then truce terms to be discussed. And given the level of destruction within Gaza, I can see why they want to play it that way, rather than taking more time to consider terms, more opportunities for casualties and the destruction to continue. So that's the plan at the moment, from what we understand. A ceasefire, time not yet known, and not a truce. No negotiations to be done afterwards.
Yeah, that's an important distinction, Iris, because an Israeli security source telling our French language correspondent, Gwendoline de Bono, that what the Israeli side wants is sort of a scaled down cessation of hostilities.
It's interesting. What we've seen in the previous rounds of this conflict, 2009, 2014, and everything in between, has been, and it just ends. It just falls off a cliff, and both sides slink away, lick their wounds, bury their dead, start repairs, and wait for the next round. And I think inside Israel, there's a clamouring for the first time for a change, or the first time that I've really heard. Defence analysts, politicians, people looking for a change to that model, because it is so costly, and the people who pay the costs are the civilians, not soldiers.
Who's asking for that change?
What I hear is defence analysts discussing it, politicians, former spokespersons for the IDF, for Israel's military. There's actually a discussion at that kind of level, and in newspapers, about, can this go on? Is this model now over? And is it time to do something else? It's a model that suits Benjamin Netanyahu. I think he would reinstate it straight away if he could. It's divide and rule in the Palestinian territories. He does divide and rule inside Israeli politics also very well. It keeps the two sides apart. He strengthens Hamas slightly. He weakens the Palestinian Authority, and that suits his goals. But people who live through this, civilians on both sides, I cannot stress how distressing it is to see that there are no soldiers fighting, and actually civilians bear the brunt of this. Civilians on both sides are being asked to endure something that I don't think civilians should be asked to endure, especially, rinse and repeat in this ongoing way.